The NFC West in 2021 will undoubtedly be one of the most fun divisions to watch and to keep track of throughout the entire year. This division is expected to be one of, if not the most loaded in all of football, and how all four of these teams are going to be playing physical and tough all year is certainly going to be fun, from Aaron Donald to Russell Wilson to Kyler Murray and to, of course, Nick Bosa and the gang. Will the 49ers be able to get back on track like they were in 2019 and get back to the Super Bowl? Will Matt Stafford go from winning 0 playoff games to leading the Rams to a Super Bowl title? Will Russell Wilson go from a wild card round exit to a Super Bowl appearance? And will Kyler Murray get the first of hopefully many playoff appearances in his career? We're going to dive into each and every team in today's video, and as we have through each of the first 6 divisions that we've previewed, we are going to be going from worst to first based on 2020 standings. So before we dive into the NFC West, please like the video and subscribe to the channel, as each only take a second to do and it would be very much appreciated. Now let's begin. And we start today's video with the San Francisco 49ers, who, of course, after a very injury-riddled 2020, finished 4th in the division, but who are very much looking forward to getting back on track in 2021, and it's going to have to start with the quarterback play. Now, as we are entering training camp, there was a report that came out, and it was very clear, that said Jimmy Garoppolo is QB1, Trey Lance is QB2. Obviously, we know they did not spend a top 3 pick and trade all of those picks for Trey Lance to back up Jimmy Garoppolo for the next 5 years, and for the 2021 season specifically, which is this video and the outlook, it is going to be interesting to see how long of a leash Jimmy will have. Or will Jimmy go out, throw a 2-interception game once the 49ers lose 20-17 and he immediately is pulled for Trey Lance? Again, it's going to be an interesting thing to watch for the 49ers. Now, just because they were in the Super Bowl 2 years ago, a question I have is, can they get back to the Super Bowl this year? I know 49ers fans understandably want to say, yes, immediately we can get back there, but I do have some serious questions, and it's going to revolve around not necessarily them being good enough, but can they sustain how good they were with other teams being much better in 2021 than they were in 2019? And it is obviously more than fair to say that the NFC West as a whole, not just the 49ers and the Seahawks, and the Rams for that matter too, is a lot better in 2021 than they were in 2019. Back 2 years ago, the Cardinals had a rookie quarterback, a rookie head coach, and they weren't much of a threat. Now, they were looked to be a team up and coming, but in 2019, they weren't really much of a threat. Now, ironically, the Cardinals did give the 49ers 2 close games, and honestly, it was closer than the games the Vikings and the Packers gave them on the way to the Super Bowl that year. But anyways, looking at the 49ers 2021 schedule, and of course there's going to be hard games in that division, but all in all, I think the schedule for them could favor a lot worse than what it does. And to say they're going to go 14-3, I think would be a little bit of an overstatement, but looking at this schedule, I would be surprised if they didn't have at least 10 wins, regardless of who's at quarterback, because of how talented this roster and of course this coaching staff is. The defense will undoubtedly keep them in a lot of games, so Jimmy or Trey Lance aren't going to have to be Joe Montana or Steve Young to win games for them, and that's obviously going to benefit the 49ers down the road. And for the season, with Jimmy Garoppolo or Trey Lance at quarterback, I don't think they're going to go to the Super Bowl, but I certainly would not rule out a playoff run for them. I don't think they're going to end up in Super Bowl 55 in SoFi Stadium, to be clear. I realize Jimmy and the gang made it a few years ago, but remember in that Super Bowl run, Jimmy threw a total of 14 passes or something crazy low to get to the Super Bowl, and when they got there, Jimmy certainly did not make the throws needed to win the Super Bowl for them. So if they do make a deep playoff run, it will be due to the run game that Kyle Shanahan is of course famous for, and of course the defense led by players like Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, and Eric Armstead. Next is the Arizona Cardinals, who are certainly looking to make their first playoff appearance in the Kyler Murray and the Cliff Kingsbury era, and they honestly have a very good shot to do so. Now, one thing to keep an eye on before the preseason starts, and obviously before the regular season starts, and I'm hoping this does not happen between the time I am recording this on Wednesday morning and the time this video is uploaded, but the Chandler Jones situation. Chandler Jones has requested a trade. Now, the question is this damage irreparable? irreparable? Can the Cardinals at all keep him? Will he play this year and then go from there, kind of like Aaron Rodgers is doing in Green Bay? How serious is this trade request? Is it, I am done with this organization, or is it, like I'm just requesting one, but this is something we can work out long term? Those are the questions that we don't know the answers to at this point in time, because certainly I would love to see him and JJ line up on the other side of each other, as that would be a very lethal duo. And yes, JJ Watt is still a good player. He can't help that he was double teamed more than anybody in the NFL last year, and I did a video breakdown on JJ Watt not too long ago detailing exactly why he is still good and why he did not have a good stat sheet in terms of 2020. Now, one thing I absolutely love about the Cardinals 2021 season, and really in the future for that matter, is the linebacker duo of Zaven Collins and Isaiah Simmons. Now, Isaiah Simmons did not play a lot at the beginning of his rookie season, and he played throughout the course of the 2020 season, but I do think this year is when he will take a major step and remind everyone why he was selected where he was in the 2020 draft. So him and Zaven Collins will be a very fun duo to watch, and obviously I'm not saying they're going to be like a Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman type duo, because that's placing extremely lofty expectations on those two, as they are very young players, but I do think they will be a fun duo to watch and could see Pro Bowls each in their future. Now, of course, we have to discuss Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, and everyone else, and honestly, I think they are in for a big year, and there's no reason to think that they're not in for a big year looking at the Cardinals' schedule and looking at the chemistry that those two will only grow as they get more and more comfortable with each other and already have a season underneath their belts. Now, one thing to note is I do love Kyler Murray, I love DeAndre Hopkins, and as we said, I like the potential of their defense, but I don't think they're going to be able to seriously compete with the upper echelon of the NFC teams. And what I mean by that is seriously have a chance to win. They missed the playoffs last year, and the Mitch Trubisky / Nick Foles led Bears got in the playoffs over them. Now, we obviously hope for improvement from the Cardinals in 2021, but I don't think a Super Bowl is in their future, at least in this season. This is a 2021 outlook, and for this season specifically, I would not be surprised by a wild card playoff appearance. I certainly don't think they're going to win the NFC West with other teams in the division, but I don't think a Super Bowl run is in the works this year specifically for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, next is the Los Angeles Rams, who already have had an unfortunate injury with Cam Akers going down for the year, and obviously that was just brutal for everyone. Cam was a very promising player. He looked to be the future running back of the Rams for the next 4 to 5 years, and looked to be Matt Stafford's best friend, as Matt Stafford, as we know, has not had a running game his entire career. So for him to go down before the preseason even started was very unfortunate for the Rams. Now, the good thing moving forward is they will still have Matt Stafford, who I do think is a better replacement than Jared Goff. They will have, of course, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Tyler Higbee, and everyone else on that offense. And the thing is, and the question that I have for the Rams in terms of their 2021 season is, can Matt Stafford win a playoff game? Now, obviously, Matt Stafford has been a successful player in Detroit, and individually, not as a team, and although that Stafford can't really control how bad a lot of those Detroit teams were, but one thing I do kind of want to say pump the brakes on to everyone is I have serious concerns about Matt Stafford going from, again, never winning a playoff game to all of a sudden people think just because he has this team around him that he's going to win multiple Super Bowl titles before his career is over. Now, let me say this. If he does, good for him. He deserves it. Him and his wife are great people, and I would absolutely love that for them, but I don't think in 2021 specifically it may be the start of a dynasty run like some people seem to think. Now, having said that, am I ruling out a possible Super Bowl appearance or even Super Bowl title for the Rams in 2021? No, I'm certainly not ruling that out, but I do think there needs to be some brakes, kind of pumped on this team, and really anyone else in this division for that matter, because what I want to reiterate and what I've said all offseason is this team is going to be beating the hell out of each other. These teams, not just the Rams, these teams are going to be beating the hell out of each other all year in terms of the NFC West play, and one concern I do have is fatigue once January rolls around, especially with the added 17th game. Playing these strong caliber teams all year for 6 of the 17 games is eventually at some point going to take a toll. They don't have a cupcake team in the division, and you guys can obviously think of other cupcake teams around the NFL. I'm not going to mention any of them, but they don't have a cupcake team where, the starters are pretty much guaranteed to play 3 quarters, or where they can, in a sense, change the game plan around and really just work the defense less and have them stay off the field and really just pound the rock and really save everyone's energy for the next week moving forward. That is one genuine concern I have, not with just the Rams, but everyone in the NFC West. And having said that, I do think the Rams' potential this season wraps around the NFC divisional round or NFC championship game area. I would be certainly disappointed in them if they did not have at minimum a postseason appearance, given how much this has been hyped up all offseason. Next is the Seattle Seahawks, and they were very pressed against the cap this offseason, so not surprisingly, they didn't really make any splash moves. However, they did get Gabe Jackson in a trade, and that was pretty good given everyone knows the stereotype between Russ and not having an offensive line. Now, let's just call it what it is for the Seahawks, and obviously this applies to a lot of teams as well, but I think more specifically to Seattle than a lot of other NFL teams. If Russ goes down, whether it's a hamstring injury, whether he goes down somehow, some way, for multiple weeks at a time, the Seahawks are done. I do not think their roster is all that good, and I'm quite honestly not that impressed with their roster, and I didn't think they were going to go deep in the playoffs last year. A lot of Seahawks fans were very mad when I said this, and then they got beat by Jared Goff and the Rams in the wild card round. So, let's just, again, say what it is. The Seahawks roster outside of Russ and DK is not all that talented. Of course, they have some good players on the team, don't get me wrong. It's not just Russ, DK, and that's it. That would be a very casual approach to say about the Seattle Seahawks, and that certainly is not the case. Now, if they let Russ cook all year like they did at the beginning of last year, and teams don't figure them out the way that they did at the end of last season, then the Seahawks' sky is the limit for them. But I don't think they're going to be Super Bowl champions. Again, it relates back to this division beating the crap out of each other all year long. And like I said, I'm not that impressed with the Seahawks roster outside of Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, and Tyler Lockett. So having said all of that, and with defenses sure to make adjustments gradually throughout the year, I don't think the Seahawks are going to go to the Super Bowl. Now, to say they're going to miss the playoffs, that's simply not true. I would be genuinely surprised if the Seahawks miss the playoffs. And the way that I'm going to have this division finishing is 1 LA Rams, 2 Seattle, 3, and this is a toss-up, but I'm going to have the 49ers, and then 4 the Arizona Cardinals. And it's no disrespect to the Arizona Cardinals, but I do think Jimmy Garoppolo will be playing the absolute best football of his career, similar to what we saw in 2017 with Alex Smith ahead of Patrick Mahomes. Now, not to say Trey Lance will be Patrick Mahomes, you guys get where I'm coming from when I say this, but Jimmy will be pressed more than ever to play the best football of his career, and I do think he will do just that. Now, this division would not really surprise me in any way the way it'll finish because of how good this division is. I do think it is the best in football from top to bottom, and with that being said, that is all I have for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you ever have a video suggestion, please leave it in the comments below. If you're still watching this far into the video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It would mean the world. We are less than 70 subscribers from 25,000, and I'm really trying to hit that before the start of the preseason. But anyways, until next time, have a great day. Love you guys. Deuces. Peace.